is the term that HeartMath uses, is really, it's not ours. It's actually part of the evolutionary imperative associated with the shift. It's an intelligence that it's intuitive, it's high speed, it's an intelligence that really has multiple aspects to it. I mean, we understand the physical heart's role being different than we ever thought through our research, but there's also the emotional heart. You know, when you think about emotions associated with heart, like compassion, care, love, appreciation, those kind of things. And then you have the sort of spiritual connection that many people feel with heart. They recognize that it's through their heart they connect with something larger than themselves. You know, and then I'll flip it back around to just the street stuff. You know, it means like people talk about play with your heart, sing with your heart, put your heart into it. And what they're saying is that go to this place inside yourself where your authentic self is, and put that into what you do. And if you do, you have a better chance of moving beyond mediocrity, and a better chance of being able to accomplish things that you often doubt that you can. And so all that adds up to this sort of what we call heart intelligence, this place inside that we do access. People do get there, they find it in themselves, everybody does. And what we've done at HeartMath is develop a system of tools, techniques, methods, and technology, and then add science to it. The reason we added science to it is when we recognized when we started launching HeartMath that we were trying to take our personal heart-related experience into a context that could have societal impact. If we didn't do it differently, then heart stays in the same place it's been, you know, caught up in the respected realms of, but limited realms of, spirituality and philosophy, and not taken seriously in modern living. We also recognize, hey, you know, you put it out the regular way it's been put out before, you're going to end up being looked at by mainstream society as another heart thing in California. So you better do it different. So science was our bridge. Science was never designed to take the heart out of heart. It was designed to give it an empirical understanding, because when things get empirical, when there's a belief's been verified through something like science, then the belief is stronger. So as people can believe more in their own hearts, then that adds to the whole thing. So what we've learned about heart from a physical standpoint is that and this is where a lot of people start getting on to the ahas and verification in themselves. The heart is a blood pump, the most amazing pump in the world that there's ever been. But it's more than that. It's actually an information processing center in our bodies, and that's what most people didn't know. It communicates and sends information to the brain and the rest of the body, and does it in 4 ways. You know, things that were. What's interesting about this is it was scattered in the research literature, but the story had never been put together. What our researchers did, Dr. Roland McCready and his teams, they created a story that someone can understand and someone like me can explain. So the heart's sending all this information to the brain and to the rest of the body. It's actually, things like brain function are critically dependent upon the signals and information that comes from heart. Who knew? You know, we just didn't know. So when you added all that up and you have this research and this story that shows that the physical heart is more than we ever thought. And that it's sending information, it's receiving information, it learns. This is amazing, but it actually learns and changes and does a lot of things. It has this sort of independent physiological intelligence. Then all of a sudden, we start believing more in the emotional heart and in the spiritual heart. And that when we say a change of heart changes everything, we see that maybe is really true. That's what the research did. And so the research has gone way beyond that now into lots of things and going further now in the near future. And certainly in our social science research, there's been a lot that's accomplished, looking more now at the energetics and connectivity between all living things and how all that relates to heart. And there's a lot of exciting things that are happening.
Non-locality, would that be part of that?
Non-locality would be an aspect of quantum physics, which would be saying that, in quantum physics, we're not limited by the paradigm of time and space that Newtonian physics gave us. That can go out the window, and then it opens the possibilities of connections in a different way in a much larger sense.